remember we did that workout a few years ago. I think that was 3 or 4 years ago. Dude, John, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yanagida Podcast Show, episode 43. We got special guests. We got John Henry in the house, owner of Coffee Attic, owner and founder of Coffee Attic. And John, welcome to the show, man.
Dang, appreciate it. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, John, I've been going to the Coffee Attic for the past, 5-6 years now. And it's incredible because I remember going to the Coffee Attic right after we would do our Saturday workouts at the Kanoa Street garage workout days.
Oh, really?
This is 2015. I think you guys had just started, 14 or 15.
Yeah, this is our 7th year, so around there, sounds right?
Yeah, right around that time.
Yeah.
So I remember coming over 2015 with Taylor, who is now one of our trainers, and I think he's a platoon commander or something like that in the Army. But so yeah, it's just incredible. That was 6 years. I remember sitting outside. So right at the entrance, you had tables. I mean, there's still tables out there. I remember sitting there, and I would just get my little $2 coffees.
We still have them. We still have $2 coffees.
I still got my black coffees, my $2 black coffees. And I'm just curious, and everybody's probably curious, like, how did you guys come up with the Coffee Attic idea?
The story in it is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
From the beginning, we actually purchased the building 2005, I believe. Is when my photography business, my past career, was doing really good, and we're looking for tax write-offs. I thought I've always wanted to buy a commercial building. So we bought it back then, and we had tenants in the building, help pay for the rent because I couldn't afford it. Then the photography career went down the hill. Everybody got into photography, digital cameras came out. So all that changed my income. And then we had the snow factory. Some of your guys might remember that. No, it was a tenant of ours. Oh. And so they were doing good, but then they ended up moving out and giving us about a month's notice. And this is right around, 7 years ago.
Wow.
And we were going to lose the building. Everything we worked hard for, we couldn't afford the place. So we put the building up for sale. And we called a realtor to come out, a friend of ours, and we're putting the realtor sign out for sale or for lease. Mm-hmm. And so we're hoping that somebody come along and lease it like right away, or somebody come along and buy the building. We had no hope in anything. We just didn't know where we're going to go.
Wow.
And while she's putting the sign up, we're sitting there talking. She goes, this is a pretty cool place. I think it would make a really good spot for either a hair salon or a coffee shop.
Who said that?
The realtor.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the realtor's name? Do you remember that?
I can't remember. It was I
can't remember.
Local girl.
Wow.
My wife remembers names. I just remember.
That's amazing.
So with that there, I turned to my wife right there on the spot and says, well, I can't cut hair. Let's open a coffee shop.
Wow.
So in 2 weeks, we opened a coffee shop with no restaurant background.
Wow.
No education at all. Even I didn't even know. I knew drip coffee, but I didn't know what a cappuccino was.
Wow.
None of these things. So we went to Maui Coffee, which is our provider, and they provide a lot of the coffee beans. Because my wife has really good taste for good quality coffee, I can tell if I don't like it or I do like it, but not if it's earthy or fruity.
Right.
Those things. Yeah.
The distinctions.
Yeah. So she has the quality. Whenever we go out to eat like Four Seasons or Kailani, someplace nice, and she goes, "Where's your coffee from?" They always go back to Maui Coffee.
Wow.
So we went to those guys and go, "Yeah, we'll give you a thing that grinds up the beans and a thing to make drip coffee with." So from day one, they provided that for us. But what we needed was an espresso machine, right?
Espresso, yes.
Yeah. So we went to Macy's and bought one for $130.
Wow.
One you would have in your home.
Wow.
We went through 7 of those machines before we could afford to buy one because we really didn't plan on that thing taking off. We thought somebody's going to come in and take over the place. And so my cell phone number, it was my original personal phone number.
Wow.
And I was using it just temporary until somebody came in. And after 6 months, nothing happened.
Wow.
And I go, oh, this is sort of fun. It's really slow. But after 6 months, we thought, I think we can maybe make this work. Then after a year, we felt really good because most businesses, restaurants, go out of business within the first year. It's a really poor percentage of survival rate.
That's right.
So then after 3 years, we go, okay, we made it. And then it's been just like great. And then COVID hit. We thought, oh, this is really bad, but fortunate. We picked up a lot of new customers, and we're doing almost twice the business now than what we were doing pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
What?
It's just incredible.
So what did you guys do? What was the pivot change? What was that shift to get that? Was it takeouts? Was it
for the COVID?
During COVID, yeah, this past year.
Well, a lot of people quit coming, but what we did pick up was the police department. those guys started coming in, and you come in now, it looks like it's a substation.
I've seen that. I've seen one of my boys. We used to wrestle together, and I was just like, "Oh, what's up, brother?" And he was just sitting there with his other officers, and I'm like, "Dang."
Yeah. So apparently they went some places, and they weren't welcome to come inside. They had to sit outside, and we let them sit at the bar.
Right. That's what I told them.
Yes, that's what we said. It's off limits to everybody else, but we made it available for the officers to sit.
Wow.
And then they just started coming, and we give them a little bit of discount, not much, but just out of courtesy. But what they actually take real good care of our employees. They talk with them, have fun with them, get to know us personally. We're a mom and pop business, so that they like that idea of it, homemade pastries and all. But they came in, and then the nurses at the ER were starting to call us up because apparently maybe their cafeteria shut down. I don't know, and they're working long hours with the COVID thing.
Right.
So we started delivering to the hospital only. And so we're doing that like 3 days a week, and it's usually a pretty good size order. It's slowed down since then. But those are some of the things that sort of picked up. And then what really did it for us was we built that new structure outside.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was sitting there the other day.
And it's comfortable,
computer.
right?
Yeah.
And you never get the sun on you. It's north facing, and you can watch the cars go by. And we've have a lot of people come in for meetings and dates and all kind of cool things. Yeah. So it's made it so you have a comfortable seating area now, whether you're not indoors, you got nice outdoors, and it works amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe that I always liked. It was that homey kind of vibe. I remember even pre-COVID, it was like the couches, and you could just sit there.
Sleep.
People sleeping with their earphones on and their hoodies on like that, and you're sleeping. And I remember it was just so diverse too. You got middle school kids coming from EAL, and then you got the older pop, and then you got all these different people coming and grabbing different things, and I thought that was really cool.
It was fun with the middle school kids. We had sometimes up to 20 kids would come in.
That's right.
And a lot of them were waiting for the parents to pick them up after school. They had nowhere to hang out, so they'd go downstairs. But every year at the beginning, we'd have to talk to one of the older kids and say, "Okay, you got to be the boss down here. Tell them they can't climb on the furniture. They can't walk." They're middle school kids, like no one watching over them, and they're like getting rowdy.
Oh.
And so we'd find somebody a little more mature, and they'd come in. I'd say, "Hey, if you don't make them behave, nobody gets to come in."
Yeah.
So we had to do that. But this year it's almost a year now. We did our downstairs shack. We made soft serve ice cream. We built that specifically for the middle school kids.
Wow.
And they've never come.
Right.
So now they're not in school regular hours anymore. Right. So we haven't been able to make that for that. But our chili does great. We have a lot of adults come in just for the chili dogs.
Awesome. I remember asking you. Right when you guys were setting up the roof and the shack sign. I was like, "John, what is this?" You're like, "Oh, try this Dole Whip." And I was like, "Oh, dang, what is it?" You sold me.
Yeah.
All right, let me get that, and I'll get that chili. And it was really good.
And the Dole Whip's vegan, and it's lactose free. So. And that became famous at Disney World. I never heard of Dole Whip before, but it's by Dole Pineapple, and they had it outside the Tiki Room, I think so they say it at Disney. So you go there, and I remember having it in Florida. I was raised near Disney World in Orlando. I remember them having it, but it was like way too expensive for a kid like me to be able to afford Dole Whip.
Dole Whip, yeah.
But now, so we try to keep it at a reasonable price, not cheaper than what it is at Disney, but it's still a good seller. People come in just when they see the sign, they want Dole Whip. Yeah.
Dole Whip.
There's a couple places in Lahaina side to sell it.
Wow. Yeah. John, so what has kept you guys going? I mean, the last 7 years from that, you were saying that you put your signs up for sale to where you are now with all the things going on and all the different relationships and customer relations that you guys got. Like, what was that drive? What was like your guys' pillars?
Well, a couple things that happened.
Yeah.
One is the photography dropped off.
Photography.
Yeah. And I thought, I don't have any backup career. I mean, I'm not skilled. I was in the Air Force as a dental hygienist, but I don't want to go back cleaning teeth again and have to do all that. So I really didn't know what I could do. I can be a security guard because I don't have a college degree. And sort of funny thing on that side, when I had my photography business doing well, we had 7 employees. 5 of them had college degrees, and I was the only one without the college degree. I go, "Hey, what's going on here? All you guys, where's your college degrees?" But I still recommend kids going to college. And I tell my daughter, I said, hope no one hears this, but I said, forget college, just marry somebody rich. So, she didn't listen to me. She went to college.
There you go.
So, but what happened is we just sort of fell in love with this. I've always wanted to do something to work with the community. My photography is always mostly working with tourists coming in. We definitely met some nice, I had wonderful time with that, but meeting local people on a daily basis, like what you have at the gym. You're like a family here, right? When somebody doesn't show up for a while, you go, what's wrong? Are you in the hospital? We had the same thing. And so we've made some amazing, really good friendships and family relationships, and some are better than others, right? And then some are like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to run downstairs for a little bit. You handle it, but we get everything coming through there. But we get tourists come in and they hear about us now, and it's sort of like a destination place. But several things that's really made it happen is the wife's cooking. Her pastries are over the top good. People, not used to having a good scone or a good lilikoi bar.
That's right, yeah.
So that's good. We always try to keep our prices cheap. Cheaper than a lot of places, because you can't go out to eat anywhere for less than $12 for lunch now.
Right.
So we have things around $10, trying to make it affordable still. We try to keep our coffee prices down, but every time, the cost of shipping goes up or minimum wage, we have to raise our prices with it. So
that's right.
It's part of, but so people like the food is good. So you go to a lot of coffee shops and all you have is a few pastries maybe and coffees. And so we've sort of a cafe type coffee shop. And then the other thing that's really separates us that made it work is our music.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it's crazy on how that got started, because we didn't have any intentions.
On the downstairs, right?
Well, even upstairs. Before we started downstairs, we had a thrift store before we opened up the coffee shop. We had it downstairs for about a year. We took in all kinds of stuff. We wouldn't buy anything. Anything was donated. And there's tons of stuff out there people want to get rid of. But now you don't have Salvation Army to give it to, or you got Goodwill. But some of the other places you can use to get rid of things and good quality stuff. And Savers is gone. But we would take all kind of things in. And one of the things that was given to us was this pink plastic guitar. It was like a kid's toy, but you can actually play it. We had it up on the wall upstairs in the coffee shop.
Wow.
And one morning, a guy came in, and I swear he must have been a little bit drunk. But he got that out, and he started playing some blues music on it and singing with it. And it only had 5 of the 6 strings on it. It was even missing a string.
Wow.
And he still played it, and we recorded it, and we played it over and over again. And then somebody says, John, you need a guitar. And they took me to a pawn shop, and I got a really good deal on a guitar. Yeah. And that sort of built it up. Then we had a lot of donated to us, and we just keep adding to it. So we were at first just having fun with it. And then I decided, let's try to do some shows. Because I knew a lot of musicians from my photography one. And the 4th of July, maybe our second year into it, we decided I built a stage and do our first show, and I used my photography lights, which are really low quality. We had a terrible sound system. Wow. But my first show, I hate to say this, was Marty Dredd. Marty Dredd was a super good friend of mine, and I hope he's still my friend. When we did this concert, I think I had 5 people show up. It's on 4th of July. There's so much going on. And so we had 5 people, and they're in the back just loving it. This whole big room with Marty up there playing a great show to 5 people, And I keep inviting Marty, come back, do another show. We got real sound equipment now. We got real lighting. So hopefully one day we'll get back. And then after that, it just sort of word of mouth spread. And then I got better sound system. I had to learn how to do sound. I didn't know a thing about it. I knew lighting, hands down, photography.
What for photography?
Yeah, but for doing sound, I had to learn all how to do it. I'm still beginner level, but I can do a decent job now. Wow. So now we got really good groups coming in. Yeah. Even tonight and tomorrow we have 2 shows, and next week you got a great show.
That's awesome.
I wish you can come down and watch. One of my favorites is coming up next week is Ron Matoyer. Ron Matoyer plays rhythm, blues, and soul. And he used to put called Konas on the Green. Now they call it Sunsets.
Oh, okay.
Where Elier Golf Course was down in Kihei.
Yeah.
So he was playing there forever, and he came, I think, to Hawaii in '79 and played it way before you were born. Played at a place called Foxy Lady out at the Royal Lahaina, and so that was his first gig out here. And then he's been playing here since the late '70s, and he just puts on a fantastic show. So now we're doing outside shows, 10 tables with 2 people at a table. So that's a maximum we can max in there, 20 people. Then anybody else can just stand around the outside. And there's no noise ordinance because we're a business area. We're not residential. So we can put outside amplified music. And if you want to dance, you just got to go off the property, which is like 5 foot over the wall, right on the side of the road to cone it off. And you can dance right there on the edge of the road.
Wow.
And you're at 20 foot from the stage.
That's right, because it's right outside.
Yeah. So it's so much fun.
So like what I'm hearing is all like this creativity. I mean, from you were saying that most restaurant businesses don't make the first year.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's a lot of relationships, a lot of community, a lot of creativity. Because, I mean, that's just incredible. From that situation to all that you're doing. And now, right after COVID, and you guys are even doing better. Like, that just blows my mind. And that's why I was like, John, I remember asking, I was like, John, we got to get you on the show, man.
Whether you realize it, because you got the same thing with the small business, you understand people can go a lot of other places. It's all about good service, right? You got to treat them respectfully. So one of the main things we pound into our new employees is greet them when they come in and thank them when they leave, and try to recognize them. That people want recognition. It's so simple. So when I went to buy shoes at the mall, this is a perfect example. I went into a shoe store ready to spend $200 on tennis shoes. I go in and no one even greeted me. They had workers there and it's like I didn't even exist. I walked in, walked right back out. I went to another shoe store right across in the mall, and the people right away greeted me. Can we help you with something? And I said, yeah. And I spent some money with them because I wanted somebody just to give me some service. And it's that huge of a thing. And it's not hard to do, but when you go into a good quality restaurant, they're always going to greet you. You go into some place that's too busy, and you just can't be too busy to try to give good service. I'll be right with you, whatever. And the same thing here, that there, and then quality food and a decent price. Those things are all what made us work. Because you don't get that normally at a corporate. If you go some of the corporate places you go to, maybe. But mom and pop, there's if they don't have it, I don't know how they can stay in business without giving customer service. So that's what I think what makes it work for us.
Yeah.
And when we interview our people for jobs, main thing what we're looking for is having good character, someone we can trust, be honest, because we're a cash business, so we know that there. But we look at the people and we'll give anybody a chance. But we'll sit down and talk with them, ask them a lot of questions, and just see where they're coming from, where their heart's at. And if they fit in with us, man, it's a blast. We're a family. We do stuff together all the time. Our employees that's worked for us for 5 years are still coming back in, even though they're not working, and hanging out with us. And they come in on their days off. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. It's a funner job than any other real job I've had.
Wow.
I wish I would have done it 30 years ago.
And that shines through, John.
Yeah.
I mean, because every time I come in and you're there, like, Justin, how's it going? I'm like, hey, John.
Yeah, family, right?
Yeah, grab my coffee.
Yeah.
Got my notebook.
Yeah.
I'll go outside on that table. I'm like, dang, this is great.
Yeah, and some we can harass. We like to tease, as long as it's keep it proper.
Yeah.
And so we have some that come in there. We just love to give it. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, John. I totally agree about like the whole service, quality, price, and all these different things, because the greeting thing is huge. Like that shoe example. Dang, that's such a bummer. That first shop, they just lost a customer because nothing happened. Dang.
And then on the other side, when a customer comes in and they're not so nice, right? We're going to get some coming like that. I tell our staff, you don't know what they're going through. They could have been through a breakup. We had one customer came in, it's sort of yellow skin, a guy from Oahu, just a couple years ago. And I says, is it early in the morning? Wasn't anybody around? And I says, how you doing today? I always really sincerely ask, and sometimes I see what the response is. He goes, not too good. I'm on my last several weeks, I've got cancer that can't be cured, and I came to Maui just to get away, and I know I'm going to go home and die. And this guy was probably in his 60s, but his skin was a little bit yellow, and so he had something terrible, and I was able to talk nice with him and treat him. You never know. Somebody comes in from a breakup or whatever the situation, but we get other ones we read too. People come in that are jacked up on something, and then I have to come in and treat them properly. So we're always reading people.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But we try to treat them nice no matter how rude they are. And
where does that come from? Does that come from your military background or how you were raised? Because that's an incredible trait to treat people well and always giving that benefit of the doubt of like, hey, so we're not sure what happened. Hey, are you okay? What's going on? What's your story? I really admire that because I always hear your conversation when I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, he's really trying to get to know these people. Yeah.
Two things happened. One of probably the thing I can be proudest about in my whole life that I can really, and put it proud in the right context, meaning not something I'm proud about, but satisfaction. I got to be a chaplain in the prison for 4 years. And a chaplain is like being a pastor. So for 4 years, I was going and volunteering into the prison here on Maui.
Wow.
And dealing with every situation you can imagine. So I had to learn how to do grief counseling, crisis intervention, people that were suicide watch, people that came in. One guy that was on Molokai just killed his girlfriend, and he was like going off, and they'd bring me in to talk with him and to get him back to normal. And so being a good listener was incredible. Just having someone that would listen to them. I don't have to have all the answers. So that impacted me a tremendous amount, and I'm still certified for going back into the prison, but the timing is wrong. When I can get off work, my work is so busy, I can't get off. But one day it's going to happen, hopefully, that we'll have the right amount of employees working. They don't need me. I can take off for a few hours a day and go back into the prison, because so I can actually help people that need help, that they're not going to get help anywhere else. And again, you read people. You see some people using you, trying to get what they can out of you. You get that, but again, you listen to them, and sometimes you can say the right word to help them or do the right things just to turn somebody's life around.
Wow.
So I don't push that on anybody. Not too many people know that's what my background is. On occasion, somebody come in, got ink all over them, tattoos and stuff. It looked like somebody can come in and kick my butt. And they came in and go, "Hey, Pastor, how you doing?" And I go, "Oh, somebody I met from prison."
Wow.
They'll refer
that's
to me as
incredible.
Pastor. Yeah, so it's really, really cool to get to come across some of these guys that I actually don't remember most of them, because there's so many guys at the prison. But I got to spend a lot of time and really learned a lot through that. Yeah.
And you were saying one of the biggest impact was listening and then feeling heard.
Yeah. Listening to these guys, and again, some of them are just jerking your chain. Right.
Of course.
But other ones are really needing somebody to listen to them, and that can help them through some tough times when no one else is gonna, even listen to, or they can put confidence in. Yep. Yeah.
John, I had no idea about that. I mean, I know about your photography and the military, but I had no idea what initially got you in that direction, because that's very unique. That's like a very rare thing to do, to go into the prison and do that.
It came back to, I was out of work. My photography was...
Oh, it was that era.
Yeah, it was right before we got the coffee shop going. When we hit the thrift store. Is after 2005, and that maybe, I don't know where it was at in that area, but 2008, somewhere around there. And I had no work. There was just no photography to do. My thrift store wasn't doing much. And the thrift store, we got clothes donated to us, and so when inmates would get out of prison, we had one guy that's flying out to Arizona that day. He had nothing but blue jeans and a white T-shirt.
Wow.
And we were able to give him free clothes and shoes, and he can get on the plane and go home see his family with non-prison clothes on.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so that was part of that program for us.
Wow.
But I just had no time on my hand. I said, man, I've been teaching Sunday school at church most of my adult life. Started at Grace Baptist in Lahaina with Arza Brown.
Lahaina. Okay, yeah.
So I came over with him in 81, and so I worked through his church, and I learned so much. And I thought, what good is it to have all this knowledge and not be able to share it with somebody? And I love teaching. I love teaching photography, anything. I love to teach. So this was just a great opportunity to do something under the radar, and that's how it needs to stay there.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 years, John.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And I can't wait to go back again.
Dang. That says a lot about you, John. Yeah. I just want to acknowledge you right here, John. I just, for who you are, what you've done, and what you're doing, and what you're going to continue to do. It's just incredible. I just feel like more people need to know this. Because you guys started from really humble beginnings, scary times, almost losing the building.
Yeah.
And slowly building. It wasn't like an overnight thing. It was years, months and years. And all your past experiences. You like teaching, you liking people, listening to others. I mean, I just gotta acknowledge that, John.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt blessed all the time, and it helped me build my faith, helped me share it with others. Because at the time we were ready to lose the building, I was at the prison, and I was telling the inmates, I says, and this is what I honestly believe, if it's God's will, I lose the building, and I said, God, thank you for that. You had your purpose in my life for me to do something else. That's what He brought the coffee shop in my life. I had no idea it was going to happen. I looked at it on a faith basis. No matter which way it goes, if my business profits, thank you. If it goes down, thank you. Whatever happens, I can sleep. People lose sleep over things that can't change. Anxious about things tomorrow that you have no way you can change. With all the worrying, you're not going to change what's going to happen tomorrow or next year.
Wow.
And I just had to put my trust in my faith and share it with inmates and see where God opened the doors. And
John,
it's been incredible.
That is incredible. Like, how do you develop that like deep faith? I mean, because people that I talk to that have developed something or created something or fought or whatever it is, they always talk about like that conviction and that belief and that faith, and it's
what you're doing. You exercise,
you
right?
Exercise, yeah.
You exercise to get stronger. You exercise your faith. You trust in something a little bit. You keep trusting. You keep exercising. I'm going to trust God on this. I'm going to trust God on that. There. If you don't do it, then you don't exercise it. So it's just like what you do. I tell them the same example. If you want to get stronger, you got to exercise, and that's the same way with your faith.
Wow.
If you don't have any faith, it's not going to grow any stronger.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. John, this is like blowing my mind, man. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
We can back to the coffee. I appreciate that.
So what are some of like the personal things that you might do like to deepen your faith? Is it like the way you think, or like you do certain things, or?
Well, a lot of scripture reading is really important. We have one of the guards comes in from the prison all the time, says, John, what's the word for the day? Always puts me on the spot.
Wow.
So I got to make sure I stay in that, give him some encouragement,
That's awesome, John.
Yeah, but and again, I see so many guys fall, pastors fall, people fall in their faith. They do things that that's not correct, and so I've been there many times myself. And so it's just nice to have somebody that forgives you and says, hey, come on, keep going ahead. So those are some tough times you deal with, but I keep stay in the scriptures, stay in church, know some good Christian men I can talk with. Wow. Those things help out.
Yeah.
And I deal with mostly people not in the faith. Most of my business customers are not in the faith. Some of them I know that are, and we'll share a little bit. But most of them I just try to, again, always, all of our employees, no profanity. I just think that's a good image, even though maybe they use it off the job, but on the job, no profanity, no off-color jokes. So we have that. We don't have wrong kind of music playing. We like to keep, even the music that I allow, we don't allow any alcohol on the property. We tell people performing, no profanity, no politics, because people want to come just enjoy a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they keep saying, well, why don't you sell alcohol? You can make so much more money. I know I can make a lot more money selling alcohol. But then it goes right back to, I'm telling these inmates, stay away from alcohol, man. It's going to cause you to fall. Not everybody, but some people are addicted to it, right?
Yes.
And so our performers that have gone through AA or have had struggles with it, they love performing there because they don't have to deal with people drinking and the possibility of getting called back into the drinking again. So the ones that are sober, that have lived that life, or some of them totally love it. Then the other ones that are still on that rough road, they don't want to. Some of them don't want to play there because they want to be inebriated when they play. Maybe they feel like they play better.
They play better. Yeah.
So it's funny. We've seen some come out of the car and smoke's following them out of the car, and they're walking in and the smoke's following them into the room. Okay, you did good. You kept it outside the business,
outside the establishment. Wow, John.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, John. This is like, I'm just blown away, man. Like, do you, besides like the scripture, do you have any like specific books you like to read, or where do you draw inspiration? You said you have a men's group or friends.
Right. Yeah, I've been teaching, just recently, since all the COVID, I've been doing an online Zoom class with our men, and so I've been teaching through the book of Revelation, which is a really tough one because it's dealing with end times, and it wasn't the plan on tying it together because we started pre-COVID on the book of Revelation. But I do a lot of study. I have some online sermons audio that I like to turn to, and I have commentaries that I read that help me. But that's pretty much it. And then life experiences, people I talk to, customers or whatever situations. I'll oftentimes use those experiences in my lesson. So like I share with you about exercising, it's something I might have picked up somewhere. I always love to look around me and try to use those illustrations in real life practical things. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Wow. So I don't even know. Like I just feel like I got so much personally out of this. I'm gonna watch this myself. I'm gonna just take some notes down. And I'm gonna like dang, like this is amazing. Like some of the stuff you're saying about character.
Later on, if you want to sit down and talk, more about it. We can do it casual.
There
anytime.
you go. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
John.
I love it. And my wife knows sometimes I'm sitting there talking to somebody, and I said, "Honey, I'll be right with you." Because even this week, there's a guy that's in that dealt with rehab, and I didn't know it. Super nice customer. First time I really talked to him, and we got personal. And I got to sit down and listen to his story, and be able to give him just a listening ear.
Wow.
So I love having that close relationship that you don't share with anybody else.
Yeah.
And then you got to keep it private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow, John. I mean, like 7 years in, like that's just amazing. I didn't realize it was 7 years. I thought it was like 5 or 6 years. Yeah. And so, where do you guys see yourself going in like the next? When you guys hit 10, like when you're 10 years, like not 10 years from now, but when you hit year 10.
Okay.
Maui Coffee Attic.
So I do have goals, and I definitely. Funny thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, when you started your business, did everybody try to tell you how to run your business? Oh, you should do this here. And you had to pick and choose, right? Who you're going to listen to.
You should do this. You should do that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that.
And then the things that tell you to do. Oh, it's $100,000 to do this here.
Right. All these crazy stuff. Exactly.
So we had to deal with that coming into it because we didn't know, but we had all kind of people saying, "Oh, you should try this here and do this here."
Right.
And there were so many people. I go, no, because then I started learning. Oh, if you want to pay for it, yeah, we'll do it.
If you want to pay for it.
Yeah, if you want to pay for it. They had all kind and we have so many customers that.
Like, what's an example of like an idea? Like,
try to put in a drive-through window.
Oh.
Yeah, and I go, no, it's just too difficult to do, too costly to do. Another one, you should open up a Molokai. Molokai needs a good coffee shop. Yeah, they do, but getting employees, the whole thing. We're already just struggling just to keep one business going. And it's a lot of hours. I mean, we used to be open 6 to 6, and then we do our concerts and open until 9. It'd be like 9:30 or 10 before I get home. So I was putting in sometimes 17-hour days and a little bit longer. And I'm not like working my butt off all day, and I'll take naps and things, but it was some long days. Now we shorten our hours, and it's a whole lot better. But the thing is, where we're planning on seeing ourselves go, we're not planning on expanding. I mean, I have no intentions of opening up a second or third location. We're having so much fun. The thing is, we're not trying to make $1 million. And that's, I think people that are doing that are trying to expand and maybe set something up longevity wise. We're just living day to day, enjoying life as it is, and trying to keep the stress levels down, travel, shut down when we need to. I like, Tasty Crust takes a week off and goes on vacation, or some restaurants will shut down a whole week.
That's right.
And we haven't done that quite yet. We've had our employees maybe shorten hours or something while we go on vacation. But where we're at in 10 years, I would love to put pressure on Jessica. And say, hey, take over this place.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Jessica Henry.
She could run
Shout
it.
out.
She has a lot of my personality, and she loves doing the music, the performances, and making new coffee drinks. And she scolds me, man. She I can't believe she still works for us. She had a hard time working for us to start with. Again, it's a young person dealing with us old people. And but. We give her space. She does a fantastic job, but I don't know what her goals are either. And I think she's sort of like me. Wherever God opens doors, closes doors, if it goes that way. If somebody walked in today and says, hey, we're going to give you a lot of money for this business, and would you manage it for a year or so? I love it. Yeah, buy it. Let me go on vacation the rest of my life. My wife wants to retire.
There we go.
So, yeah. I'm 62. My wife's just a little bit older.
There we go.
Much, yeah.
I like that. A little bit.
yeah. But we thought we'd be retired already. But this is a fun job. I look forward every day to coming in, and especially like tonight, got a concert, so I got to get back, set up the sound for it, and it's be a really fun show. but we never know. Some shows are much better than others. Sometimes we get some celebrity names come through here. It's pretty fun. But we'll see how it goes. Once COVID's over with, then we'll go back down, concerts back downstairs again.
That's right.
But we're definitely going to keep the music going. We love doing that community outreach type thing, giving the musicians a chance to make some money. We don't make much money on it, but it's good publicity.
That's
Get
for sure.
your name out, yeah.
Yeah, because it's streaming, it's spreading, people are talking about it.
Yeah. So it's been fun, and again, a ton of stuff has been donated. A guy donated a bass amp.
Wow.
Super nice. On top line, just donated it to us. He says, you need one. Like,
Wow.
okay, great. So our bass guys don't have to bring an amp with them now. We just
No, they
roll
don't.
it right out.
Yeah, it's just right there.
Yeah, we've got a left-handed guitar. Somebody donated a brand new left-handed guitar to us.
Wow.
Conga drums.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
These are different people, or just
Different ones. They
different
just,
people.
just
Wow.
have stuff they don't want anymore, or like to see it go to a good home. Yeah. So I'm looking for some more good acoustic guitars, just in case anybody has a Martin or Steve Grimes model or something like that.
Incredible, John. Like, it just makes me think about like the picture we saw downstairs, right? The 2017-18 at our end of the year Christmas party, and it's just incredible that was 4 years already. Yeah.
It's flown, right?
It's flown. The 4 years, and then the other one was 3 years ago,
and we'd never be able to look forward and say 3 years this is where we're going to be at.
Yeah, exactly.
We had no idea.
No idea.
Look at COVID, what he did to
no,
many businesses. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody thought COVID.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point. Because we wouldn't imagine doing virtual everyday workouts.
Yeah.
That's true. Dang, John. Wow.
Where we're going to be? No idea.
Exactly. There you go.
And I'm not worried about it either.
And that's the most open, honest answer I think I've ever got. It's just like, I'm just taking it day by day and enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey. Yeah. That's incredible, John. Like, people are probably curious, what do you like to do for fun, John? I know you love you love going in, and let's just say on like the slower time or downtime, like you have like a little secret passion.
So, there's sort of three things I want to do. I'd love to get back into teaching photography.
Teaching photography?
Yeah, I taught on a national level. Fuji sponsored me for a couple years.
Really?
So I teach professional photographers how to shoot weddings, family portraits. But I don't want to go back on that level. I'd like to go back like on a cruise ship and teach composition, lighting, how to use your camera, how to take better pictures.
Wow.
More in the intermediate level. So I'd love to do that, or do it here locally, take people out and do a workshop. Teach you how to take better landscape pictures, or how to pose somebody, make them look good, or take portrait shots. So I'd like to do that. And I've done a few one-on-one jobs showing people how to use their camera. Because I started at Nagamini Camera on Lahaina Road back in '82. Teaching people how to buy cameras and how to use them. That's how I learned my foundation.
Wow.
So that's one thing. I used to play golf a lot.
Golf.
Yeah, I'd like to get a part-time job driving the mower, picking up golf balls.
There we go.
And then I can go play golf whenever I want to.
Yeah, and just play golf on the side. There we go.
I don't see that happening anytime soon, but maybe a couple days off for that. And then the other thing is getting back into prison work again.
Wow.
Yeah, so
John.
those are, and travel. We love to travel. Korea right now has been our top destination.
Really?
We're going like twice a year.
Oh.
Yeah, we love going to Korea.
What's your favorite thing about Korea?
People. Well, we were going to Japan.
I remember that.
Korea, the people are a little more outgoing. You don't have that bubble that's so hard to break. The food is amazing, and it's less expensive than Japan.
Really?
And they're a first-rate country, great train system.
Wow.
And then plus we were watching Korean dramas.
Hey,
yes.
Have you guys watched Crash Landing on You?
We saw that one. Hey, I'll tell you one you got to watch. It's not a Korean drama, but it's called Kim's Convenience. It's on Netflix. It's a Korean family who live in Canada, and they own this convenience store. It's like Archie Bunker almost. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, Kim's
Convenience.
Kim's Convenience.
It's on Netflix right now,
check it out.
And there's like several seasons on there. We're just like cracking up.
Oh my.
But when we go to Korea, we go to where they film the dramas at, like coffee shops.
I remember.
And so we're trying to get some Korean. We love to get some Korean music come over here, and then we're trying to get like Jerry Valdez or Kalani Pea to go over to Korea and try to get them. But we got to get that relationship going again.
Right.
And that's where my son James hopefully will help out. He's on the Sister Cities board or something.
He is so smart.
Yeah.
Like I remember. I think it was one of the people there was telling me like James just figured out the whole like travel in Korea, and I was like, wow, I'm impressed.
Pretty good, yeah. He got the smarts from the wife, not me.
There we go.
Yeah. But we were in New Zealand right when COVID hit last time, and we were planning on going to Thailand and Vietnam.
Wow.
But the week before we were to go, we planned it for a whole year. We got to try all this food and all the great scenery shots, stuff. The week before we were to go, COVID hit, shut down Korean Airlines, couldn't fly into Vietnam. So with 5 days notice, one of my friends, Jimmy Mack, is a musician, he says, yeah, New Zealand's great. Here's where we stay at. So we went there with no plans. Called him up, said we need a room for a couple nights, and then we just started checking out New Zealand until it shut down.
Wow.
And it's fun, but we love travel. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. It seems like you guys been to a lot of different places, and New Zealand. I've always wondered, like, what is it like over there? Like when you went.
Well, we had no idea what to expect.
Right.
The only thing, I knew a guy named Bob Charles, who's a seniors golfer. He's a left-handed golfer from New Zealand. That's the only guy I knew down there. We have a couple customers from there, and we know they have a lot of sheep, and then have great golf courses that I didn't see. So we went down there. People said, "Oh, the food's not so good," but we found as long as you like Korean, Japanese food, Asian food, it's tremendous. It's really good food down there. And then they had fish and chips because it had British influence.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, the British influence down there. So, and that was really good. So I mean, we're totally excited about the food.
Wow.
But then we found out, we went on this tour, a place called Hobbit Town.
Hobbit Town. What was that?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. There we go.
I didn't watch the movie.
Oh my gosh.
So we went this tour. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And they asked how many people have seen the movie, how many times, and how many never seen it. And
Right.
I was the only one that never saw it. So we got back, had to watch the series. Like, okay, now it makes sense.
Makes
all these
sense.
little things.
Oh my
But of all the
goodness.
places he could have filmed, it's right there in New Zealand. These beautiful big hills, and it's gorgeous. So we took a couple of tours. And
New Zealand.
yeah, it was super nice. Drive on the other side of the road. But Auckland was like a college town, big city, but you walk the town, and it was fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So New Zealand, Japan, Korea.
Yeah,
Those
that's
are majors.
Yeah, I was in Fiji. Actually,
Fiji.
I went
What
Fiji.
is Fiji like?
Well, I was in 6 prisons. I was working in the prisons there.
Oh.
And so I stayed in people's homes. We had dirt floors and mosquito netting. So it was third world type thing. So I didn't get to see the resort areas, which I hear are super nice, but the people are tremendous. And so I got to spend a little bit of time in Fiji. And then I've been in the Amazon in Brazil.
The Amazon in Brazil.
I went there to do some church work down there.
Oh my goodness.
And so that was really fun. And then me and Gwen went to Europe.
Europe too. Which
Do you know Surf and Goat Dairy?
No.
It's up in Omapua Road. Omapua Road. They have near the vodka farm or something like that there.
Okay, I know where the vodka.
Surf and Goat is right up above it. And
Got it.
Thomas Kafsak was. We became friends with him when he first moved to Hawaii, and so he said, "Come visit me in Germany." He's from Germany, so he picked us up in a Rolls Royce and drove us all over Germany in a Rolls Royce.
Oh my!
So we got to see all these
John.
places. I don't drink beer, and he took us to all these pubs where they're famous for their beers. And so we got to see Germany, went to a little bit of Austria, where Mozart was at, and Italy. And so that was our only European. So one day we'll go back to Europe, but we definitely like Asia. It's closer and that thing, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So first place you're traveling after COVID?
It was probably go back to Korea.
Korea.
We got to get some more K-pop stuff.
Hey, I noticed that every time at Coffee Attic, you guys come back and there's all these like
BTS.
Yeah, BTS.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. John, it's just so crazy how time flies by already, and I could talk to you forever. I could just literally sit down, drink coffee, and talk to you for another 1-2 hours. And this is just incredible because usually I have a couple of questions I like to ask, but one of them I want to really ask is like, I remember we did that workout a few years ago. I think that was 3 or 4 years ago. Dude, John, right?
It's a bad memory.
That's a bad memory.
Don't I have to go?
Yeah, we're gonna.
No.
Yeah. You're so funny. I remember we're doing the warm up, and yeah, that was just.
It's his lunges that we're doing. Lunges.
Yeah, walking lunges. And what had happened?
We had our staff as a get together for all of our staff to come down.
yes.
So we had a special night just for Coffee Attic. And most of our staff is really young, except for me and Gwen.
Right.
They're all right out of high school, college age. They're warming up. And back in the day, younger, you never have to warm up. But now I'm doing these lunges, and all of a sudden, I feel my hamstring like snap.
Oh my God.
It was like a twing, and I go,
Oh,
and I was
boy.
just like rolling on the floor. And so I was out for the night, man.
Oh my God. Oh,
sad days.
Fun memories.
So now my workout is
Yeah.
What is it called? Nintendo. It's like the steering wheel thing.
Oh, okay, the Switch.
Yeah.
the
So
Switch.
I'm doing that every day, like 15, 20 minutes, and it's a lot of
Wow.
running, a lot of squats, and I
Yeah,
feel a
yeah.
little bit of groin coil a little bit, you know. But it's working great. You
That's
know?
awesome.
So Jessica's coaching me on it.
Hey,
Yeah, you're not
Jessica.
back's not straight, you know, and you're
Exactly.
cheating. You're not like yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Wow. You know, one of the last questions I got to ask John is, when you see this, fighting sickness with fitness, what comes to mind? Like, what do you think about when you see this sign?
Well, your book.
Yeah.
Because we sell your book there,
Yeah,
and
there we
people get the book, and I tell them about your story, which is an incredible story. I turn your life around, and how being fit changed your mental status, the whole thing, and people love it, love the story, and they'll buy the book. So that's what I always think of when I see this here. So, yeah, definitely. And this is a faith thing as well. You can make it spiritual because being your mind being right. You know, you gotta be keep the dirt out. You know.
I like that.
You know? So I use this example. So when I go work out in the yard, I love doing yard work to some degree. I go out there, weed whacker, and I come back filthy dirty. And I go into my wife and I said, "Honey, give me some loving," you know. And she's gonna say, "No, go take a shower first, get cleaned up," you know. And that's how it is with us in our relationship with God type thing. You say, "Hey God, you know, give me some loving because man, you're dirty. Go repent, turn your life around, get your act together, and then then we can talk."
Wow.
But what's our part? We got to clean ourselves up, and doing that, yeah. So spiritual mind, keeping it clean, get the dirt out, turn from that dirt, get away from it. Yeah.
Oh my.
Same thing, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
John, I want to just thank you again and acknowledge you for coming on and spending the time with
My
us
pleasure.
and sharing. And man, we got to get you back on, John. Like, we could talk for another hour.
Too much fun.
But man, John,
You
thank you
bet.
so much
Okay.
for
Pleasure.
coming by today. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, subscribe, click that like button. If you guys want to see John again, leave a comment. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.